Hey everyone. As a disclaimer, I wrote down bullet points just so I don't lose track of what I want to say. And if it sounds too formal, that's probably why. Before we start this video, I want to give a personal apology to Ollie about my inappropriate comments in one of my videos. It was never my intention to make fun of past victims. I'm also sorry for mistreating you and underpaying you. At the time, I was very strict on posting TikTok videos at a certain time and wanting it a certain way, so I felt frustrated when things didn't go how I wanted it to go. It made me decide to take out some pay as penalty and was pretty much rushing you to finish it, but I know that this wasn't discussed in our contract, so I'm sorry for hurting you. And I know you may not forgive me, which is understandable, but I want to let you know that I know what I did is 100% wrong. I deserve all the consequences for my actions. And if you can find forgiveness in you, I hope we can work together in the future, and I'll make sure there won't be any miscommunications from the start. And I hope you can tell me whenever you feel uncomfortable with things I say and want to post online. Second, I want to deeply apologize from the bottom of my heart to my community and my friends for losing their trust because of the actions I've done. Before I explain the whole hate comments in that group chat, it initially was just a group chat of people who had problems with Kenji and how we would discuss it with him. It wasn't supposed to turn out that way. Just to clarify, before I explain the whole situation of the group chat, I want to take you guys all back to the time I had problems with Kenji. This was around early 2022 with a TikTok that I posted. It was me playing this game called Death Run or Death Trap. At the time, I was experimenting with all sorts of TikTok formats for gaming. I actually first stumbled upon Ludwig's TikTok gaming format back then. Um, and I thought it was cool and I used it as an inspiration. Keep in mind, I was friends with Kenji at the time, and I noticed he also had a sort of similar format of having his model on the bottom and the game on top. I thought it would be cool to do the same because the viewers could easily see the gameplay and my expressions, so I used a similar format in a future video. However, because it was the same game and my reaction was pretty much the same as Kenji's, he subtweeted my TikTok saying that I copied his homework word for word, bar for bar. I noticed these similarities and I realized that I was in the wrong, and so I commented saying sorry. As time went on, I got a DM from someone saying that they saw the tweet of me and Kenji with the TikTok video. They told me about some negative things Kenji did to the others, and I later found out they didn't tell me the whole story. At the time, I was shocked, but I continued to mind my own business. As time went on, I thought everything with Kenji was cool because we briefly talked and it seemed like we resolved any hard feelings. After that whole TikTok thing, I noticed he was still tweeting and even telling his streams about people copying his content, editing style, and personality. I would even notice him tweeting over my debut tweets. I did know he had an upgrade for his model, but the timing of these tweets were just like really odd to me. And so all of this was taking a toll on my mental health because I was just doing my own thing, and apparently he still thought I was copying him. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was constantly being pressured as a content creator, and I was scared to create new videos because I didn't want him to think I was copying him. I was trying to stay in my own lane, and I changed up my TikTok style as much as I could without it being too obvious. When looking back, I'm the type of person that likes to talk it out in private before escalating problems to the community. So when it seemed like Kenji kept publicly humiliating me, it felt like he was playing mind games with me, which he did recently by calling my Discord in front of thousands of people and pretty much humiliating me when I was at my most vulnerable state. I understand he was angry and frustrated, but he didn't even give me a chance to explain myself before hanging up on me. It could have been done privately in a call so that he could hear what I had to say. Going back to 2022, I decided to DM him first regarding the tweet that he sent to ask if it was directly about me. So this was his response. I told him that I changed my format and everything, and that I didn't want to escalate any sort of issue. I even told him I changed everything up and that I would be respectful to how he felt. And this was his response. I'll leave it up for you all to read. I responded back to him by saying that I was the same person that I was when VTubing popped off in 2020. Keep in mind, this was before he joined VTubing. As for the copying content, I responded back with saying, quote, are you implying that I can't play the games that I got on stream because you streamed it that day? What about the other people in that category that streams the same game? End quote. I even told him that I always have a stream schedule and that I've been following it ever since I started VTubing. I've always been a variety streamer. I even told him to check my old YouTube videos that I posted. I told him my personality hasn't changed and that it was the same throughout. It made me think he believed whatever he streamed or posted was his original content, even though there are thousands of content creators that do the same thing. I also told him about the whole editor and artist situation. His response made it seem like he was gatekeeping them from working with me. During that time, I was looking for an editor to make my YouTube videos, and so I made a tweet about it, and his editor actually commented on that tweet. He wanted to work with me and showed me his portfolio, and so I accepted his offer. I can't just turn someone down because they work for Kenji. I feel like they have the rights to work for anyone. As for the artist, I was looking for a live 2D artist that could draw male VTubers. It was hard at the time to find artists that could draw male VTubers on Twitter. His artist wasn't the only artist that I contacted to work with. It was just that they were the first to respond with an open commission, and so I accepted. As for copying his design, he didn't know what my model looked like because I only released the silhouette. My model was based off of my 3D and my old 2D model. I had a whole lore prepared for it, which was why I wanted it. Which is why I wanted the model the way that it looked. Um, the hoodie and all of that was inspired by Assassin's Creed because I love that game. I told him that it's not a carbon copy, even if the artist that made his model did mine. Of course, the drawing is similar because it was the same artist. I even apologized about the TikTok video I posted a few months back. I told him to go back to that VOD when I was playing that game. I asked chat what horror games I should play, and of course they recommended that game that Kenji played before. As for the editing style, the way he said it made it seem like he was claiming it as his own. I told him it was ridiculous to claim an edit style as your own. It is an edit format that many other creators used as well as big creators. The one incident that made me draw the line was when he claimed I was imitating his personality. I've always been like this ever since I was a kid. Oh, fuck. Oh, somebody poopy here. All right. 30 minutes? Yeah, 30 seconds. Actually, you know, I take that back. Yes, 30 seconds for me too. No, oh my god, you freaking flabbergasted son of a... Oh my god, oh my god. Yo, are you mini? Oh my god, you slanky son of a... Die. Die, die, die. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. Ah! You look at that. Disgusting. You disgust me. You're disgusting. Don't touch me. You guys know me and how bad of an actor I am. I even told him that I never wanted to be him. I then responded to his other claim about, quote, your actions are why we are here, end quote. If he thought my actions were wrong, he should have told me instead of publicly trying to hint at something or messing with my head. I've tried to work out all the miscommunication in the DMs, but he continued to make assumptions about me and think that I'm manipulative when all I wanted was to keep things peaceful between us. This is what he then responded. My response to him about the edit style was that my editor, not Kenji's editor, but a different one for TikTok at the time, didn't know about Kenji because he was just popping off. He thought that the style was just a general editing format of all of VTuber TikTok. I even told him why hasn't he bashed other VTubers that had similar styles and why was he instigating me? With this editor, I've constantly tried to change formats to see what fits best with my personality. I even admit that I saw his video and thought it was a cool idea or a cool editing style, but he wasn't the first and only creator that inspired me to do this style, and because of our past trauma, I've learned to stay away. In terms of my stream hours, I told him before that I was moving states, so I needed to change my hours based on the new time zone. I've been consistent with the stream time ever since I moved in the beginning of 2022. Looking back, I admit I can see why he might have misunderstood my intentions, but this is a tight community and a lot of artists and creators work together and inspire each other's work. I swear I never wanted to be Kenji or intentionally stole his model or ideas. I thought to myself, why didn't he just reach out to me so that he could understand everything? I was just doing my own thing. I then made a whole point on the tweeting thing that he did about me and all. I told him how I felt, and I even told him about some of the stories I've heard about how he treated the others. Keep in mind, I didn't know the whole situation with him and the others until I joined the group chat, which was later. I gave him my reason on why I didn't want to join the call with him because of the people he hurt. I told him to DM me if he ever felt uncomfortable. I thought this whole drama that I had with Kenji wasn't a big deal. It was just all assumptions and miscommunications, which was why we had our own call. I admit it traumatized me, but I thought everything was cool and tried to work past it. I thought we were friends after that until someone invited me to the group chat literally within the same day or after. It was supposed to be a group chat for all of us to talk about our issues with him and get a better idea so we could directly communicate to him. I told everyone my side of the story and sent screenshots of our talk, but afterwards it went out of hand and I didn't realize how many people were affected by him, and the stories I've been hearing about him made me furious and angry. It made me realize that being his friend was not a good idea, and instead just being mutuals was the better option because I did not want to be betrayed again if I got too close to him. Like I said before, I just wanted to be on okay terms with him and do my own thing. Again, the stories I've heard about him in the group chat made me angry, which was why I made those harsh comments. Regardless, it was wrong for me to talk behind his back. From what I remember, they were telling me about how he was mistreating the mods. I couldn't understand how he could do those things to people, and it made me furious. So I decided to DM him because, like I said before, I'm the type of person to talk it out one on one before escalating things. I did come at him aggressively after the story I've heard about him and the mods from the others. Looking back, I only knew one side of the story, but I let my emotions take off on him in the DMs, which was wrong for me to do. I wanted to understand both perspectives, but the way I approached him was pure anger, which again is my fault. Here are the screenshots of my DMs with him. Of course, I didn't mention the other stories because, again, it's not my place to say it. After that last screenshot, I sent what we talked about in the group chat so that everyone can understand his perspective. So we did the call about the issue, and I personally thought we resolved it. Then after we agreed that if anyone had an issue with him, we're welcomed to call him, which I don't know if the others did. I admit it was hard for me to believe him because I still felt a bit traumatized from our interactions before. And so I was in this pickle of who to actually believe. Of course, I chose to believe everyone in the group chat because we all had some sort of problem with Kenji. And so I tried to get the other opinions from the group chat to see how to approach it. I did tell the group chat everything he said to me in the DMs, because I didn't know if he would take things the wrong way again, and I was scared. I messaged them what I wanted to say to him because I wanted their opinions on it, if it was good or not, before I sent them. Of course, the messages I was sending in the group chat were still wrong regardless, and again, I totally fucked up. After seeing the tweet about the doxing situation, I messaged Kenji first about it, and I wanted peace. Keep in mind, I did know what he looked like, but they only told me that he used to be a face cam streamer. I didn't know where they got the photos from because they didn't tell me where they got it. Even so, I told Dove in the DMs to talk it out with Kenji because all of this is horrible, and I wanted her to be on good terms with him, and I wanted to understand both perspectives. After that call and everything, I told the group chat that it's done, and then I stopped commenting in the group chat. Keep in mind, I was the only one willing to speak with Kenji from what I know. I admit, yes, in anger, we did try to plan something that would get him canceled, but it obviously didn't go through because we thought there was no point to it anymore and that everything was made up, which was why the Google Doc was deleted or I couldn't find it. The reason why I was still friends with her was because I knew she was a nice person and she seemed remorseful for what she did. I believe she would change and learn her lesson. I also felt bad after the group chat incident, so I felt like keeping her accountable as a friend was a way for me to be a better person. And again, I was too naive in my decision making, thinking it was enough that she felt bad for what she did. I was wrong. Being doxxed is a literal crime, and the fact that I thought everything would be okay afterwards made me realize how stupid I am. As a streamer and an adult, I should know the detrimental consequences of being doxxed, and I should know better. I should have just left the group chat and cut ties with everyone then and there, but my dumb self thought it would still be okay to be friends with everyone. I am currently self-reflecting and bettering myself for the actions that I did towards Kenji, Ollie, my friends, and my community as we speak, but it will take time, and I know that. After a week of thinking and self-reflecting, I've been conflicted. I want to join back to the community, but at the same time, I'm too afraid to. Trigger warning, by the way. I've been getting tons of death threats from people telling me to rot, kill myself, and to just graduate. It's even to the point where people are trying to dox me as well. I know what I did was wrong, but is it really to the point of being threatened? I thought we were all against like threats and doxing, but to me it seems like there's a double standard here, and now I'm afraid and scared for my life and the life of people who are close to me, which was why I privated my Twitter and deactivated my social media because of the messages I've been receiving. So after a lot of thinking, I've come to the decision that I will be graduating. I don't think I'll be returning as a VTuber in the future. This was a hard decision for me to make, but I don't think it's right for me to continue. I just want to reiterate that the actions that I've done are inexcusable. I am not making any excuses, and I'm deeply sorry if I offended or hurt anyone from what I've done. I just wanted to share with everyone my side of the story because I owe it all to you to clarify things. I know that I can do better, and I will do better. I know an apology doesn't magically make things better, but again, I want to show you guys how remorseful I am. As for my community and friends, I'm sorry that you had to see this, and I'm sorry for ruining your trust. As for Kenji, I'm sorry for the negative comments and hurting your trust in me. I'm sorry for participating in the group chat and not shutting it down as soon as it happened. I am 100% accountable for it. And again, I'm deeply sorry, Ollie, for all the things I've done to you and how I treated you. It's not right to treat you the way I did and underpay you. It was unprofessional of me. Nobody deserves that. As for the joke, I'm sorry everyone for making that joke. It was insensitive of me to make a joke like that because it's a traumatic issue that people have gone through and suffer from for like the rest of their lives. As an adult, I should know better. So that is all. Goodbye, everyone, and thank you so much for listening. Thank you to everyone who has supported me this far, and I'll never forget the times we had. I hope you find it in your hearts to forgive me. I wish you all well from the bottom of my heart.